Hello friends, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming and welcome to another video. I'm bringing back my Righteous Fire Elementalist Golemancer and I'm going to be doing a maze of the Minotaur right now, kind of showing off the late game potential for this build. I'm going to go over the build in more detail a little bit later on, but first I just want to let you know that this build has a major weakness that is also its greatest strength, and we're going to get to the end, to the boss of this map, and that'll be showcased fully, and then I'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'll go over the changes in the build. There are numerous changes, so if you want to skip ahead to the build, there will be a timestamp. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of the map footage. Alright, here we are with Digimon Trainer, our level 89 Righteous Fire Elementalist. And if you didn't notice during that Minotaur fight, the main weakness and strength of this build is, of course, its golems. And the big weakness is golems, while immune to elemental damage, anything that does a lot of AoE physical damage is prone to killing our golems. And if our golems die, our whole build falls apart. Just to give you a general idea of how important our build is, just watch these numbers, or how important the golems are. 17% physical damage reduction currently, and 798 life regen per second. And you'll notice if I hit my Righteous Fire, I am degenning health. That is until we get our golems out. It goes up to 1073. All of a sudden we're degenning much more slowly, and for each additional golem that we have actually all of the golems currently. We will gain additional regen until we reach the max. Let's see, I'm missing the ice golem. Maximum of 1348.5 life regen per second. And it's quite easy to sustain from there. And yeah, that also gives us a little bit of a cushion. So that is pretty much the main weakness, and I'm going to go over a couple of changes. And as you can see, we also have 37% physical damage reduction, so we gain 20% physical damage reduction just from having our Chaos Golem out. And for each golem that dies, the effectiveness of the other golems go down because of the way that our ascendancies, Liege of the Primordial and Elemancer work. We're also able to, if we get down to less than 3 golems, we're also able to be shocked and chilled. So this can be a really big detriment. Also, we're unable to as consistently proc elemental equilibrium because our critical strike chance goes down considerably, all the way down to 5% from 12.25%. So lots of things go wrong for us. We're shield charging slower, all of that. So oh yeah, and of course, a big one, we lose a lot of damage. We're getting 90% damage from our Flame Golem. So everything kind of falls apart when our golems start dying. I have a lot of gear changes here, so I'm going to go over them. I'm still actually using the Southbound gloves. I kind of like it for procking elemental equilibrium. Although we proc that mostly with Orb of Storms, we are still having to consistently shield charge for Fortify. Very important. We actually have pretty much all new gear other than that, though, except for maybe some of the jewelry. So we currently have a shaped scepter that we alt spammed elemental focus on for the elemental damage, and then we regaled it and crafted fire damage over time multiplier, which is very strong. Our helmet has burning damage and conk effect, so now we have a pseudo 6 link with Righteous Fire, efficacy, increased AoE, elemental focus, burning damage, and conk effect. So kind of a 5 link considering we have to use increased AoE to make up for the consecrated effect. But now we can use a Calm's Heart, which gives us a huge health boost, which gives us more damage. We also have fire damage on it. It's very nice. We currently have a ring with 20, it's a coral ring, so it has 29 health. Could get that up to 30, but it also has the maximum life roll for a ring, which is 79, and some resistances. And then we have 78 life on this one, and fill out more of our resistances. We have a fairly high life. I believe this is also a tier 1 roll. And then nothing really other than that besides the AoE and area damage. Got the same belt, just 99 life and some resistances, nothing too crazy. The boots need upgrading probably, but right now I'm not messing with them too much. We have some padding for our elemental weakness map, firing, or all of our resistances really, except not so much leeway on our cold, but the lightning and fire resistance, we do have some leeway, so we could probably mess around with that a little bit. We're currently using a Sappho's frame because currently our fire resistance 83% is enough to sustain our Righteous Fire, provided we have our golems up. And once we get a level 21 Purity of Fire, currently it is only level 19, I'm going to try to, once that hits level 20, I'm going to attempt to turn it into a level 21 by corrupting it. If I fail, I'll just buy it. There's 65 chaos, so I would prefer to just get it myself if I'm lucky, but if not, that's fine too, and then we'll be up to 84% fire resist. You notice we have 79% cold and lightning resist, and also 20% spell block as well, because the main ways we die in this are going to be from big hits from cold and lightning damage, because we have high physical damage reduction, high fire resist, and we're taking some of our physical damage as fire as well. So primary way we're going to die is mostly from these big cold and lightning hits, so that's been heavily mitigated. Also along the same lines, we're currently using the 10% chance to avoid lightning damage from hits as well. I don't have any of these upgraded. I should do so, but you know, it's an alright little bonus if we were to get these. Like the 25% chaos resistance against damage over time would be very nice, for instance. And then other than that, we're using Soul of Ralakesh on top of Soul of Alakali to mitigate bleed damage, so we don't get blindsided by bleed. It can't be maimed, might be nice. Can't be blinded is not really that useful. But yeah, we could get direct to upgrade this as well. Right. So that is pretty much the gear. Major changes to the gear, at least. As far as the skill tree, we are currently now using the Anima Stone, which allows us to have all of our golems out. I also have the additional primordial items, although I may switch one of these out for a Watcher's Eye, because we're not really using the additional golem summon limit anyway. So we have 2 primordial harmonies, as well as a primordial eminence. And I'm not sure if you have to have 3 different primordial gems to get the effect where you can have multiple golem, or up to 2 golems that stack. You'll have to let me know if you know that for sure in the comment section below. But from what I can tell, if I summon an additional golem, I don't seem to get any additional effect. So, for instance, if I were to have 2 stone golems out instead of, say, a carrion golem. So, I think either I'm doing it wrong or it just doesn't work. There's something wrong where you don't get the additional regen. That would be really nice, because I'd get an additional like 600 regen, make life way easier. I could get rid of one of my squishier golems, like the lightning golem, which has the lowest health. And yeah, other than that, currently I'm just filling out all the life. I have just this life node to get right here, and then I've got all the life that I need, and then I'll go down here and grab this jewel socket to get a Watcher's Eye. I might just replace these anyway, although I like the primordial harmonies because the life regen for golems helps with their survivability. But I'm having some issues with that, mostly just in tier 15 and 16 maps. Haven't noticed any issues with them in lower tier maps, and things like Shaper that only don't really do that much physical damage except for the slam, I suppose. I'll have to keep them out of the way of the slam. But things like Shaper and Elder, which do mostly elemental damage, I believe they do mostly cold damage if I recall, the golems aren't going to have that much of an issue going down. So, that is pretty much it. If I get more levels, I guess I'll go towards Breath of Flames. Oh yeah, and another important thing to note, I put Growth and Decay onto my amulet. It gives 20% increased damage over time, 10% to damage over time multiplier, and then 1% life regen per second. I assume the damage over time multiplier works the same as fire damage over time multiplier, and not separately since it's just generic. The reason I make that assumption is because, you know, they would specify as a chaos damage over time multiplier. I assume it also stacks additively and not multiplicatively, but I don't know that for sure. Once again, you can let me know if I'm wrong on that. And yeah, same ascendancy. We went for Liege of the Primordial first, Elemancer second, Paragon of Calamity third, paired with the physical damage from hits taken as fire to increase our damage and reduce the damage we're taking over time from our Righteous Fire. And then Pendulum of Destruction to increase damage and clear. That is pretty much the character. I am going to call that good for now. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye!